A political spectacle at Charlie Kirk's memorial, where grief meets rhetoric and controversy. Thousands gathered in Arizona this weekend for a memorial that blurred the lines between mourning, political rally, and ideological warfare. At the heart of it was Donald Trump, who delivered a speech that veered from somber remembrance to sharp attacks on his opponents, all while hinting at a major autism-related announcement. But here's where it gets controversial. Trump openly admitted, "I hate my opponents," a stark contrast to his praise for Kirk, whom he called a martyr for freedom. Could this moment redefine how we view political rhetoric in the age of partisan polarization? Let's dive in. Trump's unfiltered take, martyrdom and mistrust. Trump's remarks at the Charlie Kirk memorial were an unpredictable blend of eulogy and campaign-style bravado. While honoring Kirk, a right-wing activist killed in September, Trump frequently shifted gears, criticizing President Biden, promoting his autism agenda, and even sitting beside Elon Musk, a former ally turned public adversary. The president's admission that he hates his opponents stood out as a jarring departure from Kirk's widow's message of forgiveness. "That's where I disagreed with Charlie," Trump said, adding, "I don't want the best for them." This line has sparked debate. Is this a reflection of political strategy or a deeper ideological divide? What do you think? Should leaders prioritize unity over division, even in the face of criticism? Erika Kirk's forgiveness, a lesson in grace, or a political statement? In a deeply moving address, Erika Kirk, the widow of the slain organizer, declared her forgiveness for the man charged with killing her husband. "I forgive him because it was what Christ did," she said, invoking both faith and Kirk's mission to save young men. The crowd erupted in applause, but the moment also raises questions. Is forgiveness a personal choice or a public performance? And how does it align with the memorial's broader tone of political defiance? Her words may have softened the event's edges, but the speeches that followed leaned into fiery rhetoric, urging attendees to wield the sword against evil. The memorial as a political battleground. The event was a masterclass in merging mourning with mobilization. Attendees wore MAGA hats and patriotic attire, while speeches oscillated between spiritual revival and partisan attacks. Though Democrats were rarely named outright, the undercurrent of vilification was clear. "That's the part most people miss," one attendee remarked. The memorial wasn't just about Kirk. It was a rallying cry for a movement, but at what cost? Critics argue that turning grief into a political tool risks trivializing the tragedy. Do you agree? Or is this simply the nature of modern politics? J.D. Vance's 2028 playbook, Populism with a Cultural Edge. J.D. Vance's presence at the memorial was no accident. As a vice president and rising GOP star, Vance is positioning himself as the heir to Trump's populist legacy, while sharpening his focus on economic nationalism and cultural issues. His recent appointment as RNC finance chair, a first for a sitting vice president, has analysts speculating about his 2028 ambitions. Some even suggest he's eyeing Susie Wiles, a top White House official, as a campaign manager. But here's the twist. Vance's approach blends Trump's bombast with a more calculated economic message. Could this be the GOP's next big shift? Or is it just rebranded conservatism? Share your thoughts in the comments. Trump's autism agenda, science or speculation? In a move that has stunned medical experts, Trump's administration is reportedly linking maternal use of Tylenol, paracetamol, to autism risk, and promoting leucovorin as a potential treatment. These claims contradict mainstream medical guidelines and have raised alarms about politicizing public health. "This is where the rubber meets the road," one insider said. Will this agenda gain traction, or will it face fierce scientific backlash? And what does it say about the intersection of politics and medicine in the Trump era? The answer might shape the next chapter of his administration. TikTok and the Murdoch connection, a billion-dollar question. Trump hinted that Rupert and Lachlan Murdoch will play a role in the TikTok acquisition deal, reigniting debates about foreign ownership of American tech. While the deal's status remains murky, the Murdochs' involvement adds a layer of intrigue. Could this be a strategic move to align conservative media with social media influence? Or is it a risky gamble in a volatile political climate? The answer may determine TikTok's future in the U.S. Other news that matters: power plays and prosecutors. Trump's appointment of Lindsay Halligan as a U.S. attorney has drawn criticism for its overt political pressure on the Department of Justice. Is this a new normal for judicial appointments, or a dangerous precedent? Hunger strike in Angola. Detainees at Louisiana's Angola prison entered their 5th day on strike, protesting conditions at the Trump-era ICE facility. How should the government balance immigration enforcement with human rights? Healthcare alliances. 7 states and New York City formed a public health coalition to counter federal fragmentation. Could this be a blueprint for regional cooperation in a divided nation? Final thought: a nation at a crossroads. From autism policies to TikTok deals, the Trump administration's actions this week have sparked both outrage and speculation. As the political landscape grows more polarized, one question lingers: are we witnessing the evolution of a new era in American governance, or the amplification of long-standing divisions? We'd love to hear your take. Drop a comment below and let's discuss.